Hey everybody, I want to preface the video by saying that what you see behind me is not mine, it's not Grant's, this is Mike's building.
Some love stories seem so flawless that it could only be fate's handiwork, while others end in a silence no one saw coming. Laura Farm's life once looked like something pulled from a soft-focus family photograph filled with warm smiles, shared dreams, and a partner who seemed steady enough to lean on forever. Unfortunately, reality isn't always as dreamy. Behind the everyday moments and quiet routines, cracks were forming where no one thought to look. What happens with her husband is not fully known to the public, but still, the life shown to the world doesn't always hide the storms that rage behind closed doors. Join us as we tell the heartbreaking story that shaped Laura Farm's life in ways she never imagined. Long before her name became familiar across social media feeds, Laura Wilson was simply another young farmer rising before sunrise in rural Nebraska. The rhythm of her life was shaped by soil, seasons, and machinery, not cameras or comment sections. She was born into a fifth-generation farming family in Hamilton County, Nebraska. She grew up surrounded by crop fields and agricultural tradition. So farming was never a novelty or a hobby for her. It was family heritage, daily responsibility, and identity. Like many modern farmers, she faced the realities of a changing agricultural landscape. Rising equipment costs, unpredictable weather, fluctuating crop prices, and the constant demand for long hours of physical work were a few of the problems. Yet she also belonged to a new generation that understood technology not just as machinery in the field, but as a tool for communication beyond it. In 2020, while working full-time on the farm with her husband, Grant Wilson, Laura began filming short videos of her daily routines. At first, the idea was very simple. The idea was to document farm life, show what planting season looked like, explain how equipment worked, and share the beauty of rural living with people who might never experience it firsthand. She uploaded her first videos to YouTube without any expectation that they would travel far beyond family and friends. Then, almost overnight, one early upload gained unexpected traction. Viewers were drawn to her straightforward presentation, calm demeanor, and willingness to show both the hard labor and quiet satisfaction of agricultural work. Subscriber numbers jumped rapidly, transforming what began as a casual side project into a growing digital platform. Within months, Laura Farms had become a recognizable name across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. What made her content stand out was its authenticity. There were no scripted storylines, no exaggerated drama, and no manufactured influencer persona. Instead, audiences watched her operate tractors, inspect crops, repair equipment, livestock, and talk candidly about the challenges farmers face. Her videos offered a window into an often misunderstood world, bridging the gap between rural and urban audiences. As her following expanded into the millions, she became part of a broader wave of agricultural creators using social media to educate the public about food production. Interviews with local news outlets confirmed her rapid rise and emphasized that she remained, at her core, a working farmer first and a content creator second. She continued living on the same land, performing the same labor, only now with a camera documenting it. This sudden visibility brought opportunities like brand partnerships, public appearances, and a devoted fan base, but it also brought its own share of problems into her personal life. When daily routines become public content, private relationships inevitably draw curiosity. Viewers didn't just follow the farm, they followed the people behind it. At the center of that shared life was her husband, Grant Wilson, working beside her in the fields, appearing in videos, and sharing the workload that kept the operation running. Together, they represented a modern farming partnership. It is from this very real foundation that the story surrounding Laura Farms and her husband begins. Let's take a look at the tale from the beginning. A marriage built in the fields. Behind every successful farm is rarely just one pair of hands. Agriculture, especially at the scale Laura Farms operates, demands teamwork, trust, and shared endurance. Long before cameras followed their routines, Laura Wilson and Grant Wilson were building a partnership grounded in physical labor, early mornings, mechanical breakdowns, and unpredictable weather. Their relationship was forged not in spotlight moments, but in the everyday realities of running a working farm. She married him in December 2020, around the same time her online presence began to take off. Both were deeply involved in farming, and together they rented and managed land in Nebraska, growing crops such as corn and soybeans. He did not enter the picture as a supporting character to a content creator. He was already a working farmer, sharing equal responsibility in the operation. When Laura's videos began attracting attention, he naturally became part of the visual narrative, certainly not as a performer, but as part of real farm life. Viewers quickly noticed their easy teamwork. In videos, he appeared repairing equipment, assisting during harvest, or checking fields alongside her. There was no staged storytelling, only practical cooperation. For many followers, this became part of the channel's appeal. Laura Farms wasn't just about tractors and crops. It was about a young couple tackling a demanding profession together. Local interviews and agricultural features that profiled her during her rise to social media popularity confirmed this shared dynamic. Reporters noted that she and her husband ran the farm side by side, balancing physical labor with the growing time demands of content creation. Despite the new audience watching their daily routines, their responsibilities remained unchanged. The crops still needed tending, equipment still needed maintenance, and long days still defined planting and harvest seasons. As her platform expanded, so did the visibility of their marriage. Followers began to recognize him not just as her husband, but as a consistent presence in the farming operation. This level of access created a sense of familiarity for viewers. Over time, many fans felt personally invested in the couple's success, celebrating their milestones and admiring their teamwork. But increased visibility comes with a subtle trade-off. When a private life becomes partially public, even unintentionally, ordinary moments can be magnified. A day when he didn't appear in a video, a brief change in filming routine, or a quieter social media period could trigger speculation. The same openness that built audience connection also created room for curiosity beyond what the couple ever intended to share. Still, verifiable information told a simple and grounded story. Laura and Grant continued working together on the farm, appearing in posts and anniversary acknowledgments, and presenting themselves as an active farming partnership. While there have been rumors, there have been no confirmed public statements from either of them indicating marital separation, illness, or tragedy. Their shared life remains rooted in the same work that first brought them together, the SO. Where exactly did the smoke that surrounds their relationship come from? And why has it garnered so much attention? Life in the public eye, where everyday moments become online narratives. Long before tractors, viral videos, and millions of followers became part of their daily reality, Laura Wilson and Grant Wilson's story began in a far quieter moment. The two first crossed paths in July of 2016 during a CRC Canada travel camp trip, an experience created to bring young people together through shared travel, teamwork, and community activities. It was a kind of environment where friendships formed easily, where long conversations and shared experiences replaced the distractions of everyday life. In that setting, Laura and Grant discovered a natural connection built on similar values, a shared work ethic, and an easy understanding of rural living. While Laura's farming background is well documented as fifth-generation agricultural heritage in Nebraska, publicly available information about his early life is harder to find as he lived a lesser-known life before the show's fame. What is clear from interviews and on-camera appearances is that he, too, was comfortable in agricultural environments and skilled in the physical and mechanical demands of farm work. By the time he and Laura began building their relationship, he was already actively involved in hands-on farming, equipment operation, and the daily responsibilities required to run agricultural land. His calm, practical presence in her videos reflects a person accustomed to long workdays, problem-solving under pressure, and the quiet persistence farming life demands. Over the next several years, their connection deepened into a steady partnership shaped by mutual effort and shared ambition. As time passed, they began planning a future not only together, but also tied to the land and lifestyle they both valued. On August 14th of 2020, he proposed to her, marking a new chapter in a relationship that had already proven strong through years of cooperation and shared responsibility. Just a few months later, on December 19th of the same year, they were married in Central City, Nebraska, surrounded by family, friends, and the rural community that had shaped their lives. Their wedding arrived at a turning point when they were not only beginning married life, but also stepping into the demanding reality of operating a farm side by side. Soon after, her decision to document their agricultural routines online would unexpectedly open a window into their world for audiences far beyond Nebraska. Yet beneath the rising public attention, their relationship remained rooted in the simple foundation it began with: two young people who met by chance, built trust through time, and chose to face the challenges of farming together. When Laura Farms videos began reaching millions of viewers, something subtle but significant changed. The same camera that once quietly documented crop checks and tractor rides now served a much larger audience. Daily life on the farm, once witnessed only by family, neighbors, and livestock, became online content consumed by strangers around the world. With that transformation came admiration, opportunity, and so a new kind of pressure. For many followers, her content offered a peaceful window into rural life. Her straightforward tone and unpolished presentation felt refreshingly real in a social media world often dominated by glamour and performance. Viewers tuned in not only to learn about farming, but to experience a slower, grounded way of living. Over time, that consistent presence fostered emotional investment. Fans didn't just follow the work, they followed the people. This emotional connection is common in digital creator culture. Audiences begin to feel a sense of familiarity with creators they watch on a daily or weekly basis. They recognize voices, routines, habits, and relationships. When Grant appeared beside Laura, repairing machinery or discussing field conditions, he became part of that familiarity. Without intending to, the couple's marriage became an element of the narrative viewers felt connected to. But online familiarity can easily blur into assumption because followers see carefully chosen portions of daily life, and they may feel they are witnessing the whole story. In reality, even the most transparent creator shows only fragments of their personal world. Hours of work go unfilmed. Conversations happen off camera. Private emotions remain private. Yet audiences sometimes fill in unseen spaces with their own interpretations. As Laura's platform grew, fans occasionally speculated when Grant appeared less frequently in a video sequence, when filming schedules shifted, or when Laura posted alone. These moments were normal fluctuations in content creation due to weather delays, equipment priorities, or simple time constraints. However, in online comment threads and discussion spaces, small changes sometimes spark broader theories. This is actually not unique to Laura Farms. Digital creators across genres experience similar dynamics. When life is partially visible, viewers may look for patterns and meanings that were never intended. Social media algorithms often amplify speculation because emotionally charged discussions generate engagement. A single question in a comment section can multiply into dozens of responses, each layering assumption upon assumption. Yet verifiable information remains clear. There have been no confirmed public announcements from the couple indicating serious illness, separation, or tragedy. Public posts continue to show them engaged in farm work and personal milestones together. Local news features profiling her career highlight her ongoing partnership with her husband in running the farm. The reality presented by reliable sources remains steady and ordinary, just simply a working couple managing agriculture and content creation side by side. Still, the emotional power of perceived stories cannot be underestimated. For some viewers, the idea that something might be wrong can feel compelling, even when untrue. Some followers noted that in a few videos or photographs, Laura was not wearing her wedding ring. Others commented on stretches where he appeared less frequently in uploaded content. A few pointed to changes in posting patterns or tone. None of these details was unusual or explained by verified information. Rings can be removed during manual labor for safety reasons, filming schedules change with seasons, and farm work often takes priority over filming. Yet online, these ordinary factors became seeds for assumption. In a digital world where people form parasocial relationships with creators, concern can sometimes arise from genuine care. But without factual confirmation, such narratives remain speculation rather than truth. In Laura and Grant's case, the contrast between the grounded stability of their real-life work and the imagined drama of online rumor culture creates the foundation for the heartbreaking story many think exists. The irony is that the heartbreak is not found in an actual tragedy, but in how quickly the internet can create one in the absence of facts. The real challenges behind the camera, farming, fatigue, and private struggles. While online speculation focused on imagined crises, the real challenges faced by Laura and Grant Wilson have always been far more ordinary and far more demanding than internet rumors suggest. Farming is not an easy profession. It requires physical stamina, financial risk, constant decision-making, and emotional resilience. For a young couple building a livelihood in agriculture, these pressures exist whether cameras are present or not. Running a row crop farm in Nebraska involves long hours during planting and harvest seasons, mechanical maintenance that cannot be postponed, and constant adaptation to weather. A single storm can undo months of preparation. A dry season can reduce yields. Equipment failures cost both time and money. These are the realities that shape daily life on the farm, realities Laura frequently discusses in her content. Grant's role in this operation is not symbolic. He works alongside her, performing physically demanding tasks, operating machinery, and handling logistics that keep the farm running. Their partnership is one of shared labor, shared risk, and shared responsibility. Unlike the fictional dramas imagined online, the real strain in their life is rooted in work, not hidden tragedy. Adding content creation to this equation introduces another layer of pressure. Filming, editing, uploading, responding to messages, managing brand inquiries, and maintaining consistency across multiple platforms becomes a second job layered on top of farming. She has acknowledged in interviews that balancing content creation with farm responsibilities is time-consuming and sometimes exhausting. Every video represents hours of unseen effort. This dual workload means that certain days will inevitably show less of Grant on camera or fewer personal moments captured on film. Not because something is wrong, but because priorities shift toward urgent real-world tasks. A broken combine during harvest will always matter more than filming a vlog. In this sense, what audiences sometimes interpret as emotional distance is often simply a professional necessity. Like any married couple working together under high demands, disagreements, fatigue, and stress are natural parts of the experience. But there is no public evidence that these normal challenges have escalated into a crisis. What exists instead is the familiar story of two people trying to build stability in a volatile industry, with the added complication of public visibility. It is also worth recognizing that farmers traditionally value privacy. Rural communities are accustomed to solving problems internally, without public broadcast. The choice to share farm life online does not automatically mean sharing every emotional detail of marriage or personal hardship. She has consistently kept a respectful boundary between what is shown for educational content and what remains personal. This boundary is healthy, but it leaves gaps that curious audiences may fill with imagination. In reality, the most heartbreaking elements of farm life are universal. The exhaustion after 16-hour days, the anxiety of unpredictable markets, the frustration of broken machinery, and the quiet pressure of carrying the family legacy forward. These struggles rarely make headlines, but they shape the emotional landscape of agricultural families every day.